What is going on, people? And once again, welcome back to another Bears versus Buccaneers post-game show. Man, it didn't look good. The Bears was able to do okay defensively in the second half, but it was already too late. It was already too late. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers did all the damage they needed to do in the first half. They accumulated yards when they needed it. They had short fields constantly because Justin Fields couldn't hold on to the football. On top of that, he did not have really no goddamn time at all to throw the football. The Bears leads the NFL in sacks. They have given up the most sacks in the NFL. This is what happens when you have an incompetent head coach, and now I'm starting to blame Bill Lazor too, an incompetent offensive coordinator, and an incompetent motherfucking general manager. That all of them entwine together. Number one, play calling was terrible all the way through except during the run. Khalil Herbert was the only bright spot. I believe he ran over 100 yards in this game. He should have had over 100 yards in the last game against Green Bay Packers. But yeah, Khalil Herbert did well in this game. He was able to do, able to cut back, do this, do that, do everything. That's the only thing that this offensive line was able to do. They was able to move the defensive line, push them back, and allow Khalil Herbert to find running lanes left and right. But other than that, wow. Just wow. This was indeed an ass whooping. You know, this was a wake-up call for all those delusional Bear fans that be talking all that shit, talking about how the Bears was going to repeat what they did last year. I did not believe that what Bears did last year was going to happen this year. You know, but I did expect the Bears offense to be more better, less incompetent than they was in this game. Like they was horrendously incompetent in this goddamn game. Like I can't believe how terrible the play calling was from everything except running the football. You telling me that this offensive coordinator and the head coach cannot scheme a proper play call for Justin Fields to be able to pass the ball down the field to the wide receivers and tight ends on a consistent basis? Now, keep in mind, when he did fit the ball in that and he did make the right reads, a lot of motherfuckers was dropping the ball. You could say, yeah, it was probably a little too high here and there, but they got both hands on the ball. You got to come down with it. Sometimes he put it right in the bread basket and they still dropped the ball. I'm talking about Cole Kmet, Marquise Goodwin, very rare drop from Darnell Mooney. You know, everybody was dropping the ball today, it seems like. Yeah. It was just very annoying to see this Bears team look this dysfunctional this week, especially defensively. Now, also, of course, being left with short fields constantly defensively put the team at a horrible disadvantage. But yet again, of course, Tom Brady did throw 4 touchdowns. He did throw his 600th touchdown pass, being the first player in NFL history to do that. So congratulations to him. He also did throw his 601st, second, and third, all in the same goddamn game. So he constantly broke records in this game, and he did what he needed to do, and that was to get his team the victory. I did say that he was going to throw multiple touchdowns. I did say that he was going to play very well in this game. I just expected the Bears defense to be able to hold them to less than 38 points per game. I said 31, but that would be more so of a late garbage time touchdown once the Bears offense fuck it up for them late. But no, instead this turned out to be a straight up whooping. There wasn't even an opportunity for the Bears to even get really established in this game. This truly turned out to be a blunderbuss of a game for our Chicago Bears. This was like just straight up beat down. And it is what it is, you know. Only thing that the Bears can do and what this rookie quarterback Justin Fields can do as well is just look at it as a learning period, and it's just another loss, and all they can do is just try now next week to try to get another victory against the 49ers next week. So that's what the Bears is going to have to work on and try to find more adequate offensive linemen. Like, who the hell was Sims out there? Sims was one of the guys that caused the Buccaneers to truly catch fire and take advantage and blow this game out of the water right away by two consecutive drives, allowing whoever the hell the pass rusher was, whether that was Jason Pierre-Paul or I can't remember the other young guy named is, but basically allowed him to come in and strip the ball out of Justin Fields' hands, which I believe it was like he fumbled maybe 3 or 4 times in this game. Man, it's just it's real bad. You know, it's some people now probably asking for Andy Dalton to come in and be like, man, do you think that he would have did this better? Or you think he would have did this good? You know, and all I can say is I can understand the argument in between that. You know, even last week against Green Bay, where Justin Fields missed a wide open Allen Robinson down the middle of the field, too super worried about the rush instead of keeping his ass down the field. I even said to myself, Andy Dalton would have seen that man open, and he would have threw that ball down the field, and it would have came out to be a touchdown. But it is what it is. But woulda, coulda, shoulda. But I still do believe that Justin Fields do have an opportunity to be the franchise quarterback with the Chicago Bears, but only how that does indeed happen is very simple. They're going to have to overhaul a lot of people. They're going to have to overhaul everybody on offense. You know, hopefully they can try to keep Sean Desai as the defensive coordinator because so far, other than this game, which for the most part the Bears defense did do okay, but they did give up 3 receiving touchdowns to number 13 of the Buccaneers. I can't remember his name, Evans right now. And just giving up 4 touchdowns in the first half. But other than that terrible shit and in the very first game of the season against the Rams, Sean Desai has called an adequate game against very good offenses for the most part. One of them being Cincinnati, the Raiders. The only bad team I would say was the Lions. So it is what it is. They even played a pretty decent game against the Rams in the first half, and the Browns and the Packers in the first half as well. So hopefully the Bears can keep Sean Desai, but Matt Nagy, he definitely has to fucking go. Like, there is no reason why Matt Nagy should even be there right now. Like, that man needs to be up out of there. Sean Desai should be the only man. Herbert ran well. Okay. Jeter QB show, QB sports show. Herbert ran well. I'm afraid that Justin Fields will get hurt behind this O line. Oh, that's a definite. You know, that's the reason why a lot of people, even myself, was eventually clamoring for Andy Dalton to be the starter. It wasn't because I thought that Andy Dalton deserved to be the starter and because they promised him to be the starter, that's what he should be. No, it was because the offensive line wasn't that good. It wasn't that good last year. It seems to be worse this year than last year. That's the part that really gets me. Like, goddamn, like I know for a fact Charles Leno was bad, but goddamn, what the hell is going on? These guys out here now, it's making Charles Leno look like an all fucking pro. So it is what it is. But yeah, Khalil Herbert did run well. I had just spoken there not long ago that I believe that he ran for over 100 yards. It should have been his second consecutive 100-yard game. I don't know why the Bears didn't make sure he got that last week. But yeah, man, that was the only bright spot. You know, Allen Robinson is looking less and less like he deserves that money, but at the same time, you don't have Mitchell Trubisky throwing the ball to him a million goddamn times, no matter what. Bucks Nation. Bucks Nation Skull Gang in the building. Congrats to y'all, man. I actually said you guys was gonna win the game, you know. I just didn't expect it to be this much of an ass whooping like it did turn out to be. But I did say the Buccaneers was gonna get into the Bears' ass. But it is what it is, you know. Move on to the following weekend. Your Bucks have looked real good ever since that week 3 loss against the Los Angeles Rams. So it looked like unless everybody on the team gets injured or Brady gets injured, the Bucks is going back to the playoffs and possibly another Super Bowl. But the Bears, on the other hand, mm, is the Bears going to be able to make it to the playoffs? You know, I don't know. The Bears right now is going through a very tough patch of the schedule. Now they are going against 49ers next. I have mentioned that more than a few times, but I do know the Bears do most likely have a very big chance against them, a bigger chance than they did have against, of course, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And they got an injured Jimmy Garoppolo playing in this game. And I don't think Trey Lance is going to play. If he does, you know, he's going to be hobbled as well. I didn't expect the Bears to win, but at least put up a fight. That's exactly what I expected. I did say the game would be 31-17, but I thought it would be more so like the Bears driving down the field, they have a chance to tie it up, fuck up much like they did last week against Green Bay. Instead of defensively fucking it up, offensively they mess it up, and that leads to the Buccaneers to drive it down the field, scoring again, and then putting the game out of reach. But no, man, it's bad. No playoffs at all. Hey, man, this one I'm like, it is what it is. Mike Corner stepped up. Honestly, I didn't expect this big of a blowout, and that defensive line swarm fields all day. Hey, I said this. I said that was one of the keys to the game for the Buccaneers, that they have to be able to unleash the defensive line, unleash that pass rush, and be able to frustrate Justin Fields, because if not, then he have more than enough time to be able to take him apart, read the keys to the offense and everything else. But y'all did exactly what I expected y'all to do, and that was to take advantage of this weak offensive line, the weakest offensive line in the NFL that's giving up the most sacks. You know, the Bears have nothing more than the league minimum players. So what do you really expect from this offensive line? Other than the fact that I'm still surprised that they're able to push people around and be able to run the football effectively as they do. It's just that it don't matter who the quarterback is. It don't matter if it was Peyton Manning back here doing all the protection coverages and everything. He still wouldn't have enough time to be able to throw the football because this offensive line is really that bad. I believe this offensive line possibly could be worse than the 2010 Bears offensive line. And that's when I had Cade Karimi and Jamarcus Webb as the tackles protecting them with the old ass Olin Cruz, aging Roberto Garza, and Lance Lewis at the guard position. So yeah, that's real bad. Ryan Pace needs to be fired. Of course, Ryan Pace needs to be fired, but Ryan Pace bought himself a chance. He bought himself at least another year by drafting Justin Fields, bringing in Tevin Jenkins, even though he hurt, bringing in Marquise Goodwin and a lot of other players that he brought in free agency, and bringing in Khalil Herbert, who seems to be another promising running back for the Chicago Bears. So with those players, those bright spots that I just mentioned, plus I'm pretty sure there's more bright spots there is. And on top of that, the simple fact that now it looked like it was a great decision to release Cal Fuller because he just playing absolute dog shit this year. That bought him another year. Now, the one that's definitely going to be fired because no matter who the hell the quarterback is, this offense looks inadequate and it looks mediocre at best. And the best there was when Mitchell Trubisky was actually the starting quarterback. The offense was actually able to put up somewhere between like 23, 24 points per game with him being the starting quarterback on average in this fucked up offense. So that lets you know that despite all the negative things that were said about Trubisky, and all the negative things he did, he actually did something. Did the defense step up, or the Bucks locked us up, locked us on, locked up on us? It was both. It was both. You know, they stepped up and they locked us down. You know, the Bears is only the second team this year that was actually able to eclipse the 100-yard mark over the Bucks. Just the Bears was able to do it throughout the entire game, and the Eagles last week did it back when the Bucks didn't give a shit anymore, and it was basically garbage time. And that's basically what the hell happened right then and there. But for the most part, the Bears is truly the first team to run the ball down the Buccaneers' throat. But those league minimum players, I guess, all of them is excellent at the fucking point of attack and executing their run blocks. It's just that they can't pass block for shit. G the QB Sports Show. Okay, this is Rapid 10,000 San Antonio. Even if we had Tom Brady, he would not win with his offensive line. I definitely. And he agreed. Let's see. 2011 was the worst year for the Bears. 2010, we made it to the NFC Championship color. At least won big games for us. Now, 2010, that 2010 and 2011 was the same offensive line. And 2010 was still, no, 2010 was actually worse than 2011. 2011, they actually was protecting Jay Cutler a lot better. We lost Jay Cutler in 2011 because he threw an interception in the game against the Chargers, which he chased down. I think it was a cornerback, chased him down and was able to knock him out of bounds, keep it from running back for an interception, but broke his thumb. And then right after that, the following week, when the Bears went against the Kansas City Chiefs, Matt Forte blew his ACL, getting tackled directly, taking a helmet directly to the knee that finished his season. And that's what derailed the Bears season, because at that time they was 8-3 and they had finished 8-8 that year. So I do remember exactly what the hell happened. And that 2011 team was actually playing way better than the 2010 team. That 2011 team was going to end up finishing like 13-3 before those injuries happened, because they were just whooping everybody else. We're last in league in offense. Yeah. Worst offense in the league. Worse than it was last year with Trubisky. Ain't that about a bitch? Everybody that wanted Trubisky gone now is looking like, holy shit. He's the one that actually moved the ball with our offense. He's the one who actually made our offense tick. Holy shit. Yeah, I'm not saying he's better than Justin Fields, because he's not. But it's just crazy how the one that majority of the Bear fans wanted gone is the reason why the Bears offense was even putting up any type of goddamn points. And with him being gone now, Bears team looks very incompetent, don't they? The whole time I've been saying Matt Nagy this, Matt Nagy that. Some people be acting like I be wrong and shit. I see what the hell I see out there. You know, Mitchell Trubisky did everything he's supposed to do, and he got thrown under the bus, and none of y'all saw it. Well, for the ones that didn't see it, y'all didn't see it. And guess what? He can't do it. He can't do it with his rookie quarterback. He can't do it with a high draft pick like Justin Fields, even though somehow they allowed that to happen with Mitchell Trubisky. Maybe because the media and the fans agreed with him so much that he was able to do it. But now with Justin Fields in there, he can't do it. He just can't talk all that bullshit. And guess what? Boom, the Bears are getting their ass smoked, and it don't matter who the fuck it is. This is all bad. No problem, Austin kid. No problem. Okay, Bear fans have to admit that Trubisky was better than this Matt Nagy system. We still need an offensive lineman that can block along with the quarterback. Yeah. I don't know, man. He was at times, I gotta admit. Yeah. Better than what the hell we experiencing this year. This year is just all fucking bad. This is some of the worst shit possible. Who should we get as the coach? Because Nagy won't cut it. Shit, I have no damn clue. Shit, I probably can coach the goddamn team better than fucking Matt Nagy can. Put me at the head coach. I know the terminologies and all that goddamn shit. I'm pretty sure I can prep a goddamn offense better than that because shit, it's half the time with Matt Nagy, you keep running. It don't even matter if Bill Lazor calling the plays. They both can't get their head out of their ass. They both have to keep calling the same 25 to 35 plays every goddamn game. Every game. So I don't know, man. This is just ridiculous to fucking see when I see this shit. It's ridiculous to see the incompetence that happens when I take. Now, sure, I want Matt Grundy from OSU on the team. Someone who's a tough man and knows the offense. Hmm? Almost knocked my goddamn shit over. So I get Kellen Moore, Dallas offensive coordinator. There's a lot of people to get. You can have a whole fantasy draft on who the hell to get to replace Matt Nagy because of the incompetence that he displays just unbearable. Just 100% unbearable. He's no bust, still a rook. Excellent. Check out the scheme he has for that. Man, I don't know, man. It's just everything just looking at it, man. It's just very annoying to see that another year of a decent quarter of decent defensive play gets wasted. By the time this offense finally gets it together, which probably still going to take another year or two, everybody is going to be injured. I mean, not injured. Well, everybody going to be old. That's what I really meant to say. Everybody going to be old. Khalil Mack is going to be what, 33, 34, 35 years old. Keem Hicks won't be here most likely after this year. I don't know if they're going to re-sign Roquan Smith. Danny Trevathan will be gone most likely. So it's going to be a lot of pieces missing from this team by the time this offense probably decides to get good. This season is just as bad as the 1989 Dallas season. Oh, get the fuck out of here. It ain't that damn bad. Dallas that year was 1-15. 1-15, and they wasn't even close to even winning a game, I don't think. I don't even think that was a game that they was even remotely close to winning. They got their ass stomped out the whole year. The whole year. And Troy Aikman played worse than Justin Fields. I think he was an interception machine that year. Almost damn near like Peyton Manning his rookie year. So no, things can be far worse. You know, the Bears could beat the Lions this year, or the Lions in '08, or the Buccaneers in the '70s, or the Browns in 2018. No, it ain't that damn bad. Okay, Brian Badala, Bills offensive coordinator. I keep hearing about him. He must really run a very tight ship and a very coordinated offense because I've been hearing a lot about that man over the past few weeks, actually, from Bear fans and Giants fans alike. It was like this is all I keep hearing about certain teams need to pick him up, and I've heard other coordinators as well, offensively and defensively, but Brian Badal is actually one of the main names that I keep hearing to pop up. The sky is not falling despite everything. Of course, the sky is not falling. You know, it could be far worse for the Bears, but it's just very annoying just to sit back and watch your team get dismantled like this, even though you already assumed that the team would get their ass whooped. Just watching it actually happen is what really gets you. That have you go like, shit, like god damn. That's the only part that gets me. The Lion has not won a game yet. I'm waiting for Aaron Rodgers to retire. Nah, honestly, I'd rather the Bears beat the Packers with Aaron Rodgers than Aaron Rodgers not to be there. And I know a lot of people was pissed off about Aaron Rodgers saying I still fucking own you. He wasn't wrong. He did. He been doing this thing since 2008, since he became a starter, and he been beating the Bears' ass. And it is what it is. It was much like towards the end of Brett Favre tenure. The Bears started whooping his ass, and we loved every bit of it. So it is what it is, you know. Us whooping the Packers only lasted about 3-4 years, and Packers ass whooping been going on for 15 years. So, well, 40 years, shit, to tell you the truth. But man, I don't know what else to say other than I'm not embarrassed. The team should be embarrassed. Justin Fields should be disgusted with the way he played. That every last bit of the offensive line needs to be disgusted in the way they play, and they need to look at themselves in the fucking mirror and wonder if they should still continue to play football because the blocking was just that bad. And Matt Nagy should definitely look in the mirror and wonder if he should still be the head coach. Well, he's such a fucking narcissist anyway. He probably gonna be like, hey, damn straight I should, just like a fucking goofy ass like. But I don't know, man. Some people thought that Dallas should have started instead of Fields. Well, Dalton. I just wanted to say. Some people thought Dalton should have started instead of Fields. Thoughts? Mm, I believe Dalton should have started possibly last week. Honestly, if Dalton never got hurt, Dalton should have continued to start. That's how I feel about it. If Dalton would have never got hurt, he should have continued to start all the way through. And some of those plays where Fields don't see the man that's open, Dalton would have saw the man open. But those times where we needed the quarterback to be able to escape and gain some yards, what Fields was able to break those tackles because of those young legs and the fact that he able to take off as fast as he can. On those plays, you switch Dalton and his ass getting trampled. But those plays where a man needs to be open, Dalton is seeing that. So that's basically what we missing out. We missing out. We switching escapability out for a more competent passer at this stage of his career right now. That's basically what we missing out on. We're missing out. We put in an experiment, have an experiment out this season. Evaluate his talent, evaluate the coach's decision making, and put all of that together and see if Matt Nagy and crew deserve to stay, and to see if Justin Fields is even worth the pick, or did we just draft another, shitty quarterback? Eddie Jackson got his money, and now he doesn't want to tackle. Yeah, it's more than a few times that Eddie Jackson made a business decision and decided not that I'm not going to make that tackle. And it was a few times that he did make some good tackles, but it was more like gang tackling, where he really stuck his head in there. But when it came down to one-on-one open field tackling, Eddie Jackson, for some reason, since he got his money, his tackling has gone downhill pretty much since 2020. Because 2019, he did miss some tackles, but he still was pretty damn good in 2019. I think he was still a Pro Bowler then. He still had made a lot of outstanding plays, especially early in the season. But yeah, basically since 2020, that man's made a business decision to say, fuck this shit. I got paid. Let me ride this contract out. And it is what it is. The man ain't had an interception since. The Bears have never fired a coach mid-season. I already know they never have. Sucks that they haven't. This is one of the few times that the coach definitely needs to be fired mid-season. Like, it shouldn't be no, let me wait until the season over, anything like that. No, look at this fucking score. That shit ridiculous. I should not have to see that as a Bear fan. Now I know from time to time shit is going to happen, but this wasn't one of those times. This was literally like ineffective play caller, ineffective player execution. Everything was just straight up ineffective. And there's no passing game since we started Fields. I know that Fields is college passer, but Nagy is giving him the plays to our star wide receiver. Hey man, Nagy don't know how to scheme. When you got a different quarterback in there with a completely different skill set, your wide receivers have to run different type of routes based on the skill set of the man that is throwing the football to him. And Matt Nagy seems like he cannot adjust. Now, on top of that, Fields needs to adjust as well. But it's mainly coming down to the play calling, because if whoever calling the plays that have the running those deep routes, especially when it's like a 3rd and 11 and all that, having running deep in routes and everything else, that's what's really leading up to it. So it's a lot of just a little bit of everything that's just leading to this team just looking so ass like they looking now. I can name several legendary coaches who will yell at their own team after a 35-3 halftime. Yeah, shit, I'm one of them. Shit, like somebody, like some kind of fire in them. I don't know what fire could you light in somebody when they down 35-3 at halftime. What fire can you light? Don't lose by that much more. The fuck? I'm not making fun of you. I'm just saying, like, I get what you're saying, but there is no fire that can't no motherfucking coach even be able to light to them once they down by that much. All you can do is just say, please stop getting your ass whooped like that. Go out there and show me something, because this is ridiculous. They gave up 3 points in the second half. 3. But the Bears offense couldn't do jack shit. But I believe if the Bears offense did start trying to do jack shit, Tampa Bay would have started playing even harder, and they probably would have upped the score even more. But the Bears defense did hold them 3 points in the second half. Offense couldn't do a goddamn thing, and it is what it is. Same head kicking shit and all. Yeah. Cole's been playing like a real NFL kicker. Yeah, I believe he made, 35 consecutive field goals. So we already know what's going to happen with that. That's going to end badly if the Bears make it to the playoffs. So all of a sudden, it's time to kick a game with a field goal. He do a fucking Cody Parkey or worse. Have I ass fucking stroke out in the middle of the goddamn fucking field and shit. But it is what it is, man. Bears. Bears. It's tough to be a Bears fan. It's worse to be a Lions fan, but it's still tough to be a goddamn Bears fan. Especially the simple fact that even though the Lions keep losing, they at least is competitive in their games. Yeah, I know, man. Fucking Parky. Make me want to smoke on live TV and get my show taken down. Every time I think about that, man. The Bears used to beat up on the Bucks a lot when the Bucks was in the NFC Central. Yeah, they did for a long time, all the way until somebody called Mike Allside, Warren Sapp, Lynch, Derek Brooks showed up, and they started whooping the Bears' ass a little bit too much. And then they had to get their ass up out the NFC Central and turn that bitch to the NFC North and get rid of Tampa Bay. So that's what wound up happening. And then just so happened Tampa Bay won the goddamn title. Shit. So I know that much is what happened. And then the Bears and Bucks will what since then, since the Bucks won a title back in 2002, the Bears and Bucks been going at it back and forth. I believe the Bucks will win one because I believe the Bears won one against Phil Sam. Then they lost one against Brian Greasy. Then they won one again, and then the Bears got their ass stomped out against Jameis Winston later on after the Bears whooped them, I think twice, with Matt Forte making them tackle each other and shit. And then after the Jameis Winston loss, then I believe they won in 2018, then they won in 2020, and now Bucks gave it to their ass this year. So yeah, it's been going back and forth over the past 15 years since then, maybe longer than that. When it comes to the defensive players, we need new linebackers because Khalil Mack can't do it himself. Penn State has some defensive playmakers there. Yeah, but by the time those guys from Penn State get established, will the Bears be able to draft them? Number one. Number two, if the Bears do draft them, how well will they be able to acclimate to this type of defensive scheme? And will Khalil Mack still be the type of player that we need him to be by the time those players end up coming out and playing as good as that we need them to be? Once they got rid of Bucko, Bruce, they are better. Okay. We need a stud free safety. We actually got one. It's just that he needs to get his head out of his ass. People keep saying Eddie Jackson a strong safeties. For Eddie Jackson is a free safety. He's the one who stays back. For strong safeties, go into the box. I don't even know why Chuck Pagano had him playing strong safety last year. That's what reduces interceptions last year. Just this year, I don't know what the fuck his problem is. I would like to see Mike Singletary or Jim Harbaugh as this Bears team's coach. Well, I know this much: if Jim Harbaugh hop on this Bears team and he become the coach, with the way he coached the 49ers, possibly can get a good maybe 2 years out of this team. Maybe squeeze 3 out. And the offense may play a lot better. But if Mike Singletary join the defense, might stay a juggernaut, but this offense won't do much because it's just how it is when you have defensive-minded guys and switch it up with offensive-minded guys, but still bring that defensive element to the game. Harbaugh so he can develop Justin Fields. I don't know. Maybe the Rapper 10,000 can answer that for you a lot better because of course you did ask him that. But yeah, Harbaugh does stand a decent job of developing quarterbacks. He did have Colin Kaepernick looking like that man immediately. Talking about mama, there goes that man. Had that man looking dominant just like that. So yeah, I guess so. Let's see. Eddie Jackson needs a reality check because he is not stepping up in the secondary. Only how Eddie Jackson gets a reality check. His reality check will be getting released. That's only how he gonna get a reality check. Getting released. That's it. He got paid already. He already paid. He already got a lot of money guaranteed. So the only reality check he'll get is getting released and no one picking his ass up. Or it took a long time for somebody to pick him up. That's how he'd get his reality check, and that's how he'd come back to form. Sadly, it just won't be with the Chicago Bears, possibly because for some reason now he don't want to tackle. All those interception opportunities that he keyed upon over his first 3 seasons, that the ball go right past him, he not seeing it. Free interceptions for him, he not seeing it. So I don't know. I was thinking of someone who knows Bears football, who can teach them, who can coach this team better. Mm. Jack rather look good on social media. Hey, that's what he want to do. That's what he want to do. He want to look good, so he can continue to look good and get released off the team because that's probably what's going to wind up happening if he continues to be incompetent like he is. And don't get me wrong, I like Eddie Jackson. I like the majority of the roster, but yeah, this roster, especially at the most important positions, which is the entire offensive line, which is one of the, if not the most important positions in football, needs to be corrected immediately. Point blank, period. I don't know. This organization is in the situation that is in because they continue to employ incompetent people that employ incompetent players or players as soon as they get paid that they don't want to play hard. This situation damn near remind me of what Aaron Lynch, the Bears pick him up for the 49ers. He comes in, he gets more than a few sacks, impacts the game critically as being a backup to Khalil Mack or at that time Leonard Floyd. And then as soon as after that 2019, he comes in the very next year, don't give a shit, fat as hell, didn't try hard, and then guess what? He got released, lost his money. It was what it was for him. At least play real defensive football instead of touch football. Well, the moment they try to play real defensive football, some moment a goddamn flag gonna come flying. So they can't do it as much as they want to. I do know that much. Bucko Bruce was the orange guy with the feather in his hat and was winking. It was a painful time to be a Bucks fan. I was never a Brady fan until he came to Tampa. Now, now I'm a fan. I bet you would be shit. Majority of the Bears fan base would be a fucking Brady fan if he came to the Bears. Me personally, I wouldn't. I wouldn't give two shits. It's like saying if Rodgers came to the Bears, I'd be pissed the hell off. But it is what it is. Salute to your team for doing it here. My father jokes often that I should run the Bears. It could turn them into champions. Should. Matter of fact, all of us should. Should me, you, KO, Sports Talk, probably the Ghost of Judah Tribe. We can't make him the head coach though, because he a dictator. He ain't going. He ain't going for none of that shit. He's snapping. But yeah, probably all of our ass probably can help take over an important role for the goddamn team. Because it seemed like the supposed to be smartest man's in the room, Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy just keep out thinking the goddamn Bears to a point that they out thinking them into a fucking corner. Now, once again, it could be far worse. The Bears could be 0-7, but instead they 3-4 and still got an opportunity to go at least back to 500 the following week. But like I said before, the play calling has to be better. The player execution, especially at the point of attack from the offensive line, when it comes down to pass blocking, has to be better. Because if not, it don't matter how many yards you run the football for. If you can't score a goddamn touchdown, it don't mean shit. It really don't. Hope I want Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers on the Bears team. I know that's right. I wouldn't want that either. As much as I liked Brett Favre growing up, even though I didn't like the Packers, I would be so irritated if he played for the Bears. Like that would like crush my spirit if he did. I don't care. If he did bring a championship to Chicago, that would still make my damn stomach hurt. Don't care. Salute, salute, peace to the chat. Gotta run. All right, bro, man. Catch you later, man. Be smooth, bro. At least they're the team that won should not lose to the Packers right out of the fight. Hey, man, that Bears team, they played their ass off last week. I'd rather take that effort than what the hell it was this week. They did go down with a fight. It's just they couldn't do exactly what they needed to do. Bears should not have drafted. Should not be starting a rookie quarterback. Who else the Bears have a quarterback? Andy Dalton and Nick Foles. I still say Andy Dalton should have started, but he got injured. He lost his job, and that was it for him. That was it for him. That's what happened. Yeah, even Rapper 10,000 said it. Yeah, that's what we got. I still say, and I'm keep saying it again. The Bears should have kept Trubisky, and if the Bears still drafted Justin Fields, so be it. You still got more of a competent quarterback that you did have, probably more than Andy Dalton. You know, only thing is just Mitchell Trubisky just had a problem with pre-snap reads. He was an excellent post-snap read quarterback, just a terrible pre-snap read quarterback. Foles seems like a better choice. Yeah, if the offensive line can block. Foles can't outrun a newborn baby that just been born. Okay, so that's why I'm like Foles will never be a good option because the moment the pocket collapse, he's gonna get folded like a goddamn lawn chair. The man can't run to save anybody. Like I promise you now, if you weigh 450 pounds and you 4'11", you can outrun Nick Foles right now. Like that man runs terribly slow. Like when he take off running, he get all red in the face and shit. That's how you know he's slow. He running as hard as he can and can't outrun shit. No. True. So our offensive line is the problem. We should have built off Kyle Long and get him and the new quarterback work. Don't Kyle Long play for Kansas City? I thought ain't that still a thing that's going on? Kyle Long back for the playing for Kansas City. You know, he said he would have came back and he would have tried to play for the Bears, but he just did not want to play for the Bears. Long as Matt Nagy is the quarterback, is the head coach. So unless the Chiefs signed Cal Long to a short-term deal, don't even matter anyway. Don't matter because the offensive line is all the way bad overall. That it probably the matter of fact, the only bright spot from the offensive line today was Jason Peters running the football. That's one of the things that he still can do well. If you land up in front of him and he not backing up, he coming forward. Oh, he finna truck you. He finna truck your teammates, and he finna truck your mother in the goddamn stands. This just what the hell he does. But other than that, no. Everybody else. Oh, I know. I know. Kansas City got their ass stomped. Oh, they got stomped all the way out. I think that in 2013, when we drafted the right guard Cal Long, should have been the building block of offensive line in the future. It was. During the time that Cal Long had his 3 consecutive Pro Bowls, the Bears had a very decent offensive line. Like they was like tops offensive line when it came down to run block, and they was one of the best, like top 10 during that 3-year span. And I believe that they was way more competent than they was now in terms of pass blocking, because Jay Cutler had plenty of time, a lot of times, to be able to get that pass off and throw it down the field. Just he was very incompetent and would throw a fucking pick. The Titans seemed for real. Yeah, they do, and that's despite the fact that they defense is inconsistent as fuck, and for the most part terrible. Especially they goddamn corners and safeties. They front seven is decent, but it's like when they front seven can put pressure on the quarterback, they cornerbacks and safeties be feasting. And that's exactly what they did. And Kansas, and guess what? You know what's crazy? This how Bear fans know it can't be all bad because we got the same record as the Kansas City Chiefs. Who would have thought that? If you would have told me that, I'd have been like, oh man, I mean the Bears must be winning. No, no, Kansas City is this year seems like they're gonna be a 2011, 2012 Kansas City, somewhere around there when it was bad before they got good again. But I don't know. But I can't keep talking about the Chicago Bears getting their ass whooped like this. I just have to come back with another video basically later on, probably pre-recorded video tomorrow, if not tomorrow, Tuesday, when I'll be doing a preview game between the Chicago Bears and the 49ers. And also, I will be having a special guest on the Main Event podcast with me and Kofi Ohemi. His name is CG Ruthless Sports. He will be brutally honest with everything that he does, and that is talking sports. So he will be the fan representing the 49ers next week, and he will be talking about that. And we will be discussing that with him. So make sure to tune in to the Main Event podcast this Friday, anywhere between 5 and 6 o'clock. We did start a little bit later last week, but we will make sure to try to start somewhere around that time as well. So make sure to tune in to that. Have a good night, man. You too, bro. Have a good night, everybody. And once again, this is Joe Pipney bringing it back to you with the Chicago Bears taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers post-game show. Let's just read this last comment. I liked Cal Long and his college roommate who made the team, but both got injured, which is, by the way, I'm arguing about offensive line and should have picked the undrafted quarterback later in the later rounds. Probably so. But yeah, peace, my man. Be smooth, everybody. And once again, just remember to like and subscribe. And if you are a returning subscriber, just make sure to hit that like button and also share the video and just keep the channel growing. I do appreciate all the new subscribers that did join in that made my subscriber count go up to 313. I'm still getting even closer to hitting that 500 subscriber mark. If I do hit that by the end of the season and even surpass that and wind up hitting 1,000 subscribers, I would deeply appreciate it. Thank you, Dog Master. You, sir, have a new subscriber. I appreciate it, man. I do appreciate it. But once again, people, just bringing it back to you with the Chicago Bears, once again taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and getting their ass handed to them, 38-3. All right, people. Peace out. What you want, but fam, it don't matter. This is just the introduction. I'm gonna be busting from here on after. So since with the laughter, if you see disaster.